Hey Dane, how are you, man?
Good, enjoying softball night.
Hey,
It's been a
yeah,
while since we've just had strictly softball night, so I'm enjoying it. Always love
yeah,
it.
we've had music, basketball, bowling, badminton night. No, I'm kidding, man. We've had a lot of different sports, right? So we had Kaylin kicking off the night. Kaylin from the Vibes in Florida State, right? It was a fun
Yeah,
night, and this one we don't even need to say how excited we are, man, for
yeah,
this one. This is one of those ones that's near and dear to our heart. Got a chance to work
yeah,
with this coach at a camp. Been following her
yeah,
forever. Recently got that
yeah,
assistant coach spot, and just we got to get out of the way, Dane. Even though we're from Norman, everyone from Oklahoma State's been good to us, Dane. So we got to
yeah,
say, I'm
yeah,
I'm inching closer every year, man, to
yeah,
being
yeah.
like putting on the orange. So coaches like this will make us do it, man. So without wasting any more time, it's a pleasure to bring on our friend and mentor, the one and only Coach Shippy. Shippy, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. That was a great intro, guys. Thank you so much.
Man, every
Oh,
word of
thanks.
it, Coach.
Yeah, thank you for coming on and joining us.
Like
Yeah,
I
I'm
told
happy to be here.
Yeah, like I told Coach G real quick, even though we're from Norman, every year I buy something new orange. I'm like
Yeah.
little bit each year, man. So thank you for making that transitional easier. So
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
awesome.
I'm wearing my bright orange to hopefully
I
get you
see you.
guys in the spirit.
I
There we
see
go.
you. So we've got some questions for you, Coach. Again, I know you're a very busy person, and we respect that. So I'm going to take the lead on this one. So obviously, before working with Oklahoma State, coaching, doing your thing, and a stellar player at the program, even
Yeah.
before that, take me back to the start. Back in the day, when did you first pick up a bat? How old were you? When did you first start playing softball in your life?
I always love telling this story actually. I played T-ball, everyone's kind of got you when they were younger, but I didn't really start playing until I was 10 and I played 1 year and my dad was like, "Okay, we can't keep doing this. You got to pick a sport. It's either softball or karate." And I was like,
Okay.
"Well, I think I'm going to have to go with karate." And he was like, "No, never mind. Softball, I'll pick for you." And I was like, "What?" And here we are. So, I mean, I guess you made a good decision.
Oh
So
yeah,
you so you
definitely.
you have some it's PG. So you've got some nice BA. You've got some karate skills under you. How long did
Oh
you do the
yeah,
karate thing? I'm curious.
yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I only did it like I'd say 3 years, and I think it was more babysitting. Like I was 8, 9, and 10 years old when I did it, and so I learned a little self defense. I used some moves
There
on
you go.
my younger cousins today, just
Okay.
little tripping moves. That's really all I got. Some self defense. But no, I'm
There you
not. I'm
go.
not really good at it. But it was a lot of fun.
I thought I saw that about you because I was looking at some of the extra prep stuff. So I thought I saw that. So it's good to know that you're also the next basically action star out there too. That's cool.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
go ahead,
Yeah,
Dane.
yeah. I'm just
Yeah,
trying to get my black belt, so just wait for
I
it.
got you.
There you go. There you go.
I love it.
Cool.
Go ahead, Dane.
So what was it about softball that whenever you finally decided to make that your main sport, what was it about the sport that just made you want to take the ball and run, so to speak, with that?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think softball is a game that uses your brain a lot, and I really
Mhm.
liked that. There's
Yeah.
there's so many games within the game. You play defense, and then you hit two
Mhm.
completely
Yeah.
separate games. If you're catching, it's a completely separate game. If you're pitching, so I just loved it. I felt like I'd use my brain a lot, and
Mhm.
my dad grew up playing baseball. He loved it, and when we would sit and watch baseball games together, we would sit there and analyze them and that's what I love about coaching now. I feel like I
Mhm.
get to use kind of some of that stuff that I worked really hard on when I was a little kid. So it's fun. I just love getting to use my brain.
I do agree with you, and Dane and I say this a lot. The diamond, I say whether it's baseball or softball, just on the diamond, there's definitely no sport like it, whether it's a
Yeah.
sabermetrics or breaking down plays, nuances, scenarios. I think we'll spend more time doing scenarios than I think any other sport I've watched. So I definitely
Yeah.
see that presence of mind where you can't. It's softball IQ is huge. So
Yeah.
I know you have that. Even watching drills that you do, the internet's a great thing, Coach. We get to see a lot of what you do. Obviously, it was
Yeah.
great seeing it live and in person and watching that speech, which I still play for the girls every day. It's cool seeing the way you break things down, but softball IQ is huge. Speaking of that, I know the way that you influence our girls, way that you've influenced the kids of the program, and just influence kids around the world really at this point. I'm wondering who's been that biggest influence on you. Who's helped you the most, if you could even pick one person along your career so far?
And that's a tough question. I've been really influenced by a ton of people. I would say when I was younger, my dad and my travel ball coaches were a huge influence on me. My best friend Casey Stengel. I don't know if you guys. Well, she's Casey Getzelman now, but she
Yeah.
um, she played at Washington. She was the first female director of operations for football in a Power 5 conference.
Oh, wow.
And now she's an administrator at the University of Nevada. But anyway, her and I grew up, went to the same high school, we're best friends, and we trained together every day. So I would say between my coaches and Casey, absolutely the biggest influence on my softball career. And then as of late, obviously, I've got some good coaching mentors, and Coach G has been great. He was a coach of mine. Now he's a mentor of mine on the coaching side, and obviously my boss. So putting in a good word there, you know what I'm saying?
There you go.
But,
I love it. Yeah.
But no, I've had a lot of great influences on my softball career, and I'm very, very thankful for them.
I think it's neat when you talk about for a moment, and I think about the history. We were just talking to Kaylin Arnold from the Vibes and SEC and Florida State about this. You're on that cusp, which is really. And when you said it, I made note of this, Shippy. You said your friend was a director of a football program, in a male program. I love that. Yeah. I love it that female athletes these days are getting, we keep going back to this, that respect that you deserve, whether it's a female or male athlete, should be universal, should be equal. And that's one thing that really the presence about you, when we saw you and work with you, there's a command, there's a presence that no one can ignore. We know when Shippy's talking, you better listen, you better do what she says, and it's going to be something to help you get better. So I just love to see what influenced you. And honestly, the influences you have on other people is if you don't know this, but you probably do, your influence is far reaching, Coach. So thank you for what you do.
Definitely. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate that a ton. And I know that there's a lot of really great women working in our sport right now, trying to not only advertise and get our sport out there, but really show off all the sports. Especially, I've got a lot of friends that play at Athletes Unlimited, and they're doing great things for women's lacrosse and women's volleyball and kind of all those sports that really, I know people enjoy watching, but on the professional level haven't really taken off yet. And I'm excited about the people that we have, the women that are really starting to push women's sports. And honestly, a lot of men. I mean, I know you sit there, there's so many professional male athletes now that have daughters, and they're starting to kind of jump on board and go, you know what, this is cool. Especially our sport. I think it's so fast. It's so different. It's so fun to watch. And I know I'm biased, but I don't think there's a better sport out there. You know, I enjoy watching football, so I'll have to give football credit too. But other than that, I mean, our sport's a lot of fun, and I think it's just going to take a lot more people continuing to push it, and we'll break down some barriers.
The energy that comes with any game, and not just a postseason game, but a typical just a league game in your conference, it has so much energy. So now we can't thank you enough for the camp you put together for our girls coming up there to Stillwater. Now, after all your camps or all that's done, you're starting to come to the end of summer, and you're starting to come into the fall, all the kids coming back for college. What do you see on the horizon as the school year starts for yourself and the coaching staff going forward? What is the next step for you guys?
We're super excited to get our new girls here. We've got a lot of freshmen and transfers coming in, and it's always fun to see how a new team starts to form. You know, it's a new year. They kind of have their own dynamic, and it's always different. So it's really fun to see. I know, obviously, our program is the same. We wear the same orange, we have Pistol Pete, you know, like we walk through the same locker room, but it's a completely different team every year. And so as a coaching staff, that's super exciting. And we're about to get school started here in a few weeks, and we've stayed super busy. We've got, after I get done with 14U PGF, I'm taking a week vacation back home in Idaho. That'll be kind of my rejuvenation time, and then I'm coming back for next year. So I know all of our coaches are super excited to just kind of get the whole team together in one room. We've all kind of been in different spurts. I've seen kids throughout the summer, but I'm excited for everyone to be in one room and get going.
I think it's no question. I can't wait, because I know with you working with the program, I watched you. My daughter was there, and we saw you. And like I told you, when I was working with you hand in hand, I could hear you during during the WCWS, I could hear you. It's like you could hear Shippy even in the dugout. So I just love it that now you're taking that next step, and you're progressing. And I can't wait to see you back next year. We know you're going to be there. I know it's World Series or bust as your guys' mentality lately. So I can't wait to see that happen. I'm going to transition for a second, Coach, again, and value your time. But there's a segment that we have to do with you every single time. This is something that we don't prep you for. This is on the spot. It's called rapid fire. So there's a couple questions, about 5 that Dane and I bet on. Let's just say I'm leading him by about 100 so far. Okay. So, and you have to take these. Imagine that there's no such thing as reality. Anything can happen. Our fans give us questions, but anything is possible, but you have to pick one, and we bet on these. Okay. So, Dane, you ready? You got your picks, Dane?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm ready to win this one now.
So good luck, Dan, because I got you on these. I think I got these for Shippy. So we bet on what we think you're going to say. Question 1, speaking of freshmen, you're bringing the team, rookie class all the way through, and there's a team builder exercise. You guys have 2 things you have to do, and you get to decide what your freshmen do with you for an entire night. You got to go from like 10 p.m. to 10 a.m., okay? So, Coach, here's your choices. A, all of you have to hang out in a haunted house together all night. Or B, all of you have to hang out with a group 20 or so of toddlers under the age of 3. You and your crew, are you going to haunted house or toddlers? Which one are you going with?
Oh my gosh, that is tough. I know you said rapid fire. I love my toddler, but I'm not gonna lie, that sounds like a haunted house right there. I think I'm gonna pick the haunted house without.
Thank you, Dane. I knew it, Dane. I got you. What'd you have, Dane? Did you have that one?
I was thinking toddlers because it'll teach you patience and it'll teach you how to get through stressful situations.
I love it.
I was going that route.
I'm ahead of you, Dane.
Well, now I feel bad. I feel like I could have learned something there.
That's all good. It's all good. I got you. It's okay. Don't back down, Coach. I got lunch on this. You don't have to back down. It's okay. So next one. Back to some of the camps you guys do. So you have to do this exercise with a straight face. You have to go out there. You can't give it away. You can't laugh. Let's say you're teaching a group of littles, right? One of the camps you guys do. So you walk out and you're going to do a hitting drill. But you don't get to use a bat. You have 2 things you can choose from, and you have to sell it as if this is what you guys do with the program. You have 2 items. You can choose A, a cucumber as your bat, or B, a Kraft cheese stick. And you got to go up and just teach them how to hit using a cucumber or a cheese stick. Which one are you going with?
This one's easy, cucumber.
Okay.
Because it's going to hold form. Like, I mean, I have to pick a cucumber.
Yeah. But can you just see it? Can you see it? You walking up, you're just like, all right, guys, here we go. And this is how you hit. And you're just using a cucumber. Let's make that happen, Coach. Okay.
I think the cheese stick would probably be a little more comical, but it wouldn't be as practical. I couldn't hit a ball with it.
I love it. I love it. Next question. So a lot of times athletes, celebrities, musicians, we do a broad range of interviews. A lot of times they'll get called up to do movie parts. Okay. So Shippy is called up. It's coming up. Dane, I love this question. There's one more of these, Fast and Furious 11. Okay. So Fast 11 is coming out and you're called up to be in one of the scenes. There's always a race scene in every movie. So for whatever reason, your villains, you're going to be in this. You're basically kind of part of the crew. Shippy's part of Fast and Furious. You have 2 people you get to race against in a race scene. You can choose A, classic Kelly Kapowski from Saved by the Bell, or you can choose a race against Megan Trainor, all about that bass, right? Which one are you going to race against in your scene in Fast 11?
Okay, I'm picking Kelly Kapowski.
Thank you.
And here's the deal. I don't even know her best. I know Kelly's only from Saved by the Bell, but the actress, what's her name again?
The singer, Megan Trainor. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay.
it's Tiffany Amber Thiessen, right?
She's in Son-in-Law, and it might be the best movie I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
so I'm going to go with that.
I got you. Okay, I got you. So 2 more, okay? So 2 more, then we'll go to the final segment. So you are opening day, okay? Opening day 2024, you guys are coming out. Opening day Big 12 play. And you have to, with Pistol Pete, a lot of the iconic stuff from the Cowgirls, Cowboys thing, you have to march out against the other coach, whoever it may be that you're playing, and you have to do a shootout. Now, it's all safe. Nobody's getting hurt, but you have 2 things you can choose from. Instead of doing a handshake, you got to do a shootout with the opposing coach using A, a paintball gun, or B, a potato gun. And the winner actually gets to decide like the outcome. So which one are you going with? Paintball or potato gun?
I'm from Idaho, so what do you think I'm gonna?
I knew it. They slid that one in. Thank you so
Potato gun
much.
for sure.
Got you. So Dane, I'm killing it, Dane. How many you got? I got 4 right so far, Dane.
I'm three. I'm three. 3 for
Let's go.
4.
So last one,
All right.
Shippy. This is a lot of thought. Our fans really thought about this deep. So a lot of coaches, athletes, players, they also get called up to do a lot of commentary work. They get a chance to be, pro analysts, things like that, right? So different than your typical softball world. You get to step in and be a color commentator for one of these two events, and you have to decide. Not the typical stuff. A, you get to be a color commentator for 2024's Nathan's hot dog eating contest. You get to be a commentator for that, step one, or B, a celebrity slap off. This is where they're doing the slap thing back and forth. They slap each other. So you're going with the hot dog eating contest or celebrity slap off. Which one are you going to be a commentator for?
Definitely the celebrity slap off.
Dang it. I didn't have that one.
I don't really get behind the shove the hot dogs in your mouth as fast as you can thing. It's just strange to me,
It's an
I don't
athlete.
know.
It's an athlete, Shippy. It's amazing.
Well, and I know who's going to win. I mean, there's no competition there. Celebrity slap off, we don't know who's going to win. Joey Chestnut can't win that one, but he's going to win the hot dog eating contest.
68 hot dogs in 10 minutes. I got you, man. You let me down that one because I actually thought, because I love the hot dog eating contest. That's an athlete to me. So let's go. All right, Dave. Well, thank you, Shippy. Hopefully in interviews you've done and things, you haven't had a segment like that. So I appreciate you being a good sport. So thank you so much.
No, that was
Dan,
a ton of fun.
Love it. Go ahead, Dan.
On this last segment, Coach, we call it an open mic. We kind of open the floor to our guests to maybe tell some of our younger listeners, maybe a philosophy or mantra that our guests have carried through their careers, whether it be like you playing the game and now coaching it, to kind of keep them at that higher level or to reach the next level. Is there something you can tell some of our younger viewers that aspire to be where you're at? Maybe some words of wisdom that have helped you along in your career?
I've got two things that come to my mind. And the first is work harder than everybody else. I think there's so many things being sold right now of if you pay for this, you're definitely going to get seen by coaches. If you use this new cool tool, you'll be the best hitter in the world. And it doesn't mean those two things are wrong, but the kids who work the hardest are going to be the best. And I think that so many people want things to come easy. And it just doesn't work like that. Nothing good comes easy. So you got to work hard. And I think that's honestly a lost art these days. So I would say first, work hard. And second, trust in God. I don't think that's something that's told to you as a young kid, I think we get athletes here that really struggle. They're alone a lot. And you can tell that their relationship with God hasn't probably been introduced to them. And they'll start to find a relationship with him when they get to college. And I pray that kids will start to get introduced to that. Honestly,
I love that.
OU is exposing kids to Jesus. They do it every day, and they do it on a high level platform. And it's the coolest thing that I get to watch, even though obviously I bleed orange here, but I have so much respect for what they're doing as a program, because they've captured little kids' attention. And instead of pointing to anything else, they're pointing right to Jesus. And I think it is the coolest thing ever. And so those would be my two things.
Coach, I love that. And Dane and I talk about this a lot. What we've noticed about you guys working with you and Coach G, everyone's been so gracious. And I love it that you know what you believe, what you stand for. Our premise, our mindset has always been on this show. Everyone's welcome. Everyone's loved. Whether you agree or don't agree, there's a love, right? So I love it that I've watched you. You know exactly where you stand and you don't back down from that. And you're also the most kind person, I think, at the same time. You'll give them a hug, but also exhort at the same time. It's really cool to see that the dynamic of how you do that. So it's refreshing and it's inspiring, whatever someone believes or doesn't, that you're taking a stand for who you are and you don't back down from that. That's awesome. So no wonder you've been so successful and people look up to you and they aspire to be like you because you know where you stand and you know it takes hard work and you just keep striving to be better. Dane, do you have anything to add to that? Because it's awesome.
No, I mean, it's a message that's needed, like you say, and not only trusting in God, it gives you a base of things to go off of. And it's not just one thing. It's just there's so many layers to that statement that the player or the kid can explore. And once you start finding that, you'll open up a whole new world for yourself, and it's bound to breed success whenever you do that. So it's a great message to hear.
Oh, Coach, I'm
Absolutely.
speechless. I know I talked your ear off at camp, but I'm speechless. Yeah, thank you for doing that, Coach. It's your words ring true, and your wisdom goes well beyond the softball IQ, right? As a mentor, again, I followed you, and I see what your husband does. I love what you guys both do for the
Yeah.
community. People like you, no wonder the sport and the generation. I love what you're doing, and thank you for taking the time to share
Yeah,
that
definitely.
philosophy with us. Okay, so.
Well, thank you.
Coach,
I really appreciate you guys allowing me to kind of have this time and this
Yeah.
platform and chat, and it's fun.
Yeah.
You guys are a good time. I've been smiling over here. I know
Thank you.
I'm not on the screen when you guys are talking, but I'm smiling over here.
I love it. Well, Coach,
Yeah.
we
Thank you.
feel like you have a story to tell, and I say this, and Dana and I, we talked about this last year. I got to give you one more story, Coach G, because they're on time limit. I talked to him November, I think it was 20th of last year,
Yeah.
and he said,
Yep.
"Okay, we'll do it. We'll come on your show. We'll do this thing as long as you and Dane snap a photo wearing Oklahoma State, and you have to send it to me so I can post it." And he made me do this, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, I thought he was joking. He's like, "Hey man, where's my photo?" And he wasn't joking. So ever since then, we've kind of had this relationship where it's like, okay, I said, "Hey, you see that play? Like we'll kind of give each other little jabs." But over the years, I've realized every one of you, I don't think there's a part of Oklahoma State that I don't love. So it's I can't root against you. Even when you guys play us, I'm like, hey, I'm not mad if you win because you guys are such great people.
Yeah.
But we believe with softball is it's supposed to be beyond the sport. It's supposed to be lives. How are you helping people? How are you teaching people to be what they're going to be after they graduate, after they leave the program? Not everybody's going pro. Not everyone can coach. You guys are teaching these people to be just amazing citizens, and I can't say enough thank you for that, Coach. It's well beyond softball what you're doing, and you should know that at all times.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. This sport's a lot of fun, and like I said, I've been playing it since I was 10. And I think I've met all of my best friends, closest people through it, even people that I wouldn't consider softball people. I took a job in Syracuse, New York, and met two of my best friends that brought me, took me under their wing and showed me who Jesus was. And they have nothing to do with softball. I just met them going to church up in Syracuse, New York, because I was there because of softball. So sports are awesome. I encourage as many people to play sports as they can, especially at a young age, and you never know where it'll take you.
Thank you, Coach. I think in closing, softball is a family. And again, with all seriousness, I know we give each other a heck of a lot during the season, whether it's Oklahoma, OU, whether it's Ohio State, whether it's Florida. Softball is a family that's worldwide. And this message goes out to Finland, to Japan. It's over the course of the entire world, 23 countries. So softball is a family. It doesn't matter what colors you wear. It's fun to have that competitiveness like we do with our littles and 10U, 12U. At the end of the day, we're just one big softball family. So thank you for just reminding us why we love you guys so much. So, Coach, I know you're busy. We'll have to do this again. Please know it's an open invitation. You and Coach G, please come back soon. And we'll be cheering you on, and we'll make sure that we do stay in touch. Okay. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be on here anytime. You guys are a lot of fun.
Oh,
we will hold you to that. So if we give you a shout like, hey, Coach, no, I'm kidding. We'll give you notice. But Coach, thank you. Say hi to the family. We appreciate you, and we'll be in touch very soon. Okay. So
sounds great. Thank you so much for having me.
Have a great night. Boomer Sooner. I'm kidding.
Hey, what was that?
Have a good night, Coach. We're just kidding.
Best of luck,
Coach. Yeah, there's the pistols. That's what I like to see.
Go Pokes. Have a good night. We'll see you soon. Bye. Dane, I'm telling you, man, just top of the crop, man. Just great human being. What'd you think, Dane?
I loved it. I mean, we got just a short glimpse of what she can do and the kind of person she is at the camp we went to, and it's just an extension of it. And I'm glad that we could bring it to our viewers and show them what kind of person she is and why not only her team loves her, but why, in a part, why they have so much success in Stillwater there.
Man,
so it's a great message she sends, but from a great coach and former player. So I love it.
That was one of those things where I said when I first saw Coach, and Coach is the first one there. And you guys, if you don't know this, so Shippy showed up. We knew who she was long before interviewing her and all that and working with her at the camp. But watching Coach work with these littles, and I'm telling you, Dane, it was like 105 degrees last Saturday. We're sitting there on the turf. Shoes are melting. Kids are like just sweating like crazy. And Coach is like from the very first kid on the field till everybody left the field. And there was 90 kids there for that, just that camp. Didn't care. Wasn't going to let them not get their time's worth, right? She
Yeah.
gave them some time, lessons, hugs, photographs, the whole
Yeah.
deal. And she's got young kids, and she's got toddlers. She really does. So
Yeah.
she's got a life. She's busy. She's a coach. She's a newlywed type thing. Just so many things about like what she's doing. It's so much beyond softball. And I told you this, Dane, one time. Again, we respect anybody, all races, all faiths, all creeds. Whatever you do or don't believe, that's fine. Whatever that person is, I love it when someone knows who they are. Period.
Yeah.
Right. This is who I am, and they don't run from who they are. Like I said, whether that's the path they take or a different path, it's fascinating to see people that just are comfortable with who they are. And Coach is definitely someone who knows who she is, and I love that. So, Dane, that was another bucket list, right, man? Right off the
definitely.
list,
I mean, and to add to that, somebody that spreads a positive message, no matter, if you agree with, their beliefs
point of view.
Not. Yeah, they spread something positive and they bring something great to their field, whether it's sports, broadcasting, music, anything like that. You can't help but celebrate those kind of people that bring positivity to this world. And that's why we started doing this is to spread these messages from these great guests that we have.
I think there's as we said before in closing, there's a lot of bad news out there, but people like that, it's not even just about softball. When I remember talking to her and prepping for this as we did, it's not even about softball, man. Really what drew me to her is that the positive, the happiness, she loves what she's doing. It could be that, or she could be working at Starbucks. She loves what she's doing. Right.
Yeah.
And people that I feel like she could be doing something where she might not even be coaching, but doing something else. And just the aspiration to be great. She mentioned being the hardest worker in the room. I keep going back to that hardest worker in the room, right? That it stood out to me. So know your craft, know your limits, and know that you have to be the hardest worker in the room to get it done. So Coach Shippy, thank you for, wow. Just wow. That's all I can say, Dane.
What a night. What a softball night.
Yeah, what a great night of just bringing it back to where we began, man. So that being said, you guys, we got some amazing guests coming up. So I'll give you a little sneak peek of the next 7 days. This is confirmed. I'm working with a gentleman from KU football. That's happening. Coach Shippy said she likes football. So we've got a gentleman stopping by. I'll get the name out soon. I want to get the prep work done for it. Sunday, big music day. But before we get to Sunday, we got Ken and Lori both stopping by this week from Skillet. Amazing rock band, right? They were one of the founders, one of the OGs, if you will, from Skillet. It's going to be a great week with that. Got a couple of softball people we're working out for Thursday. As we roll into next week, Dane, Sunday, big day. Sunday, we've got Kyle from Bad Wolf stopping by, just to name one of the big names coming on. Monday of next week, we've got Steve stopping by from Blackstone Cherry, great rock band. Yeah. And then to end next Monday night, Dane, I gotta pinch myself. We've got Coach Broxy from the Cleveland Cavaliers stopping by, guys. So it's gonna be.
Can't wait for that one.
Man, I'm talking just elite. And guess why? The reason I said it last and I positioned it. Guess where he went to college at, Dane?
Where was that?
Oklahoma State. So it's crazy that Broxy's full circle coming back around. Had college at Oklahoma State, coming back home, if you will. So it's going to be, that's just the next 7 days, if you will. We won't even get into what's up next month. So it's going to be a crazy month. So just as always, the content continues to roll. Thank you all for what you're doing. Oh, but last one, Marcus from Mudvayne is stopping by Monday. That's who it was, Dane. Sunday, we have a special guest hanging out with us for that episode. Returning fan favorite for Marcus is Mr. Nick Best, the straw man. So he's going to be back too. So great week of interviews coming up. Just great time. So guys, thank you for what you're doing, for making this possible. Thank you, Shippy. Thank you, Carolyn. We'll end on that for the evening. Never forget that we love you. And as always, Dane,
thank you for listening.